raining.
Today I'm going to show everybody how to poach an egg. Now, I realize most of you are in college and therefore you don't have that much money in your food budget, but eggs are always a cheap, wonderful, healthy source of protein. However, there's a lot of different ways to cook eggs. You can always scramble them, you can always fry them, you can boil them, but every once in a while if you want to get just a little bit fancier, do something that'll impress your mom or your girlfriend. Never hurts to know how to poach an egg. Now, one of the most important parts of poaching the egg is making sure that you have your water at a proper temperature. The best thing to poach an egg in is a medium-sized saucepan. Fill about halfway with water, it's about 2 to 3 inches, and you don't want the water to boil. It's best to be slightly above a simmer, and if it does start to get a little too vicious, just turn it down a little bit, or else it's going to break up the egg, and the white is not going to stay connected to the yolk, and it's going to be a very ugly poached egg. Another very important part of poaching the egg is to use a very fresh egg, because the fresher the egg is, the thicker the white is. As eggs get older, even though they're still perfectly okay to eat, the whites tend to get thinner and stringier, and that is not made for a pretty dish. The other really important part of poaching an egg is not only the egg itself, there's a little secret helper, vinegar. Now you never want to use too much vinegar or else your eggs might have that vinegary taste. However, if you are a Tabasco lover, you can always add a little bit of that at the end. It'll be a perfect complement. So just add. I usually just estimate about a teaspoon of vinegar in the water, and that's going to help the yolk and the egg white to stay really close. And it helps to keep it from breaking up when you finally put the egg in there. Another really big tip when poaching an egg is to not crack the egg straight into the pot, but instead to put it in something, a small shallow dish or a custard cup. I actually use my, an extra spoon rest I have because it's good and it's easy to just slide the egg in there. So go ahead whenever you're ready and crack your egg directly into the whatever dish you want to use, and then wait. My pot is starting to boil, or not really boil, but simmer very lightly. There's very small, fine level bubbles, and that is the perfect time to throw your egg in the water. Now the most important part of poaching an egg is, of course, and this is the big secret, is how to keep it together. And with this we're going to use basically you're going to make a vortex in the middle of your pot of water. I like to use little silicone spatulas because they tend to get a pretty good even flow going around and they're heat resistant. But you want to just take it and stir it in a clockwise motion until a little hole eventually kind of forms at the bottom of the pot, and you just plop your egg in. So I'm going to sit here and stir this, and it doesn't take long, but just small circles until you get a good spin in the middle. Take your egg in the other hand, and this is such a delicate operation. And then just vortex is always the hardest part. When you have a good speed, a good consistency, just throw it right in the middle and the egg will spin around and stay good and solid. Now we're going to wait 3 to 4 minutes for the white to harden up. Now you may wonder why I would ever want to poach an egg when there's a little simpler methods. Well, for one, poaching eggs is extremely healthy because you're not adding any extra oils or fats. And if you like your yolks just a little bit runny, it's always perfect. Now, eggs are healthy in themselves. They're a very important source of choline. You can't say that for many foods. And choline is really important with brain health. It helps to support neurotransmitters. It's really important for pregnant women to get an adequate amount of choline so that they have healthy fetuses whose brains develop properly. And these have both been cited in the Journal of American Nutrition as well as the Annual Nutrition Review, stating just the importance of this and really how much better can you do with a healthy, cheap source of protein. Now, the vinegar is not always, some traditionalists will say vinegar is not proper, but it was the vinegar method proposed and made popular in America by Julia Child, and we all know that she was such a big influence on American cooking in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So I figure if Julia Child says it's okay, you can add a little bit of vinegar. Even now, Alton Brown, if anybody watches the Food Network, does suggest it as his favorite method of egg poaching. Now, it never hurts to continue to stir the egg slightly as it simmers to make sure that it stays together. And once you have the egg, you can put it on all sorts of foods. They're great just simply on toast. If you're having brunch, you can always make eggs Benedict, which everybody loves. And I mean, it's a very popular form of egg cooking across the world. It's popular in Latin American cooking and African cooking. Very popular in Europe. Now, once you have your egg, you need a slotted spoon. This way, when you lift the egg out, the water will drain away. For this, I like to use a paper towel to make sure that we don't have too much of a mess. We scoop our egg up, transfer it, and put it on our toast, and there we have a poached egg. Thank you so much.